In this episode, we'll be talking about 3 effective ways to use video in your online courses.
Welcome to the Online Course Coach Podcast, brought to you by TrueFocusMedia.com. Whether you're a beginner or expert, this is the podcast for the latest in online course creation tips, news, interviews, and ideas. And here's your coach, Jeff Long.
Welcome back to another episode of the Online Course Coach Podcast. Again, my name is Jeff Long, and today we're going to be talking about 3 effective ways to use video in your online courses. Because let's face it, video is the most effective way to convey your message in your online courses. And it doesn't always have to be you in front of the camera or you being seen. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Now, I have some really exciting news. If you are listening to this from October 26th through November 11th of 2016, I am running a free 3-part video series all about how to create your online course videos in half the time. But the good thing with these videos is you can use all the content for your marketing videos, sales videos, Facebook Live videos, really any type of video you can create. You can apply almost all of these principles that I talk about in these 3 free videos. So you can check it out. And I also have over $800 in prizes and discounts that I'll be giving away. I personally reached out to quite a few companies, developers, whatever you want to call them, tools and resource companies that I know that I personally use, respect, or think would be good resources. So they range from website themes and builders to online course plugins and systems, to video tools, resources, and all that. So you can really make your courses in half the time, maybe even faster. So check that out. So we'll be talking about these 3 videos. We'll be talking about the 10 strategies to create effective videos in half the time. Then we'll talk about 7 rookie mistakes people make in their online course videos and how to fix them. And then thirdly, I'll give my faster, smarter, cheaper tools to create online courses and videos. And this is where I just blast you with a bunch of my favorite tips, resources, tools to help you create your online course videos. Even if you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you just want to use your iPhone or a web camera. So, my goal with these 3 videos is not to overwhelm you with how to make it more complicated or how to spend more money. It's really the opposite. It's how to simplify your online course videos, how to use maybe some of the equipment you already have, or if you do need to spend money, how to make it as cheap as possible. So you can go to easyvideoforcourses.com to grab those 3 videos. And like I said, they'll be available between October 26th and I believe November 11th. That end date is somewhat flexible as I'm working through some of the technical kinks. It always tends to happen, right? When you're doing a big push and offering some things that go wrong. So maybe we'll talk about that once that's all done. Well, let's get into the topic here today. We're talking about 3 effective ways to use video in your online courses. And for those of you that don't know, I'm going to rattle off a few stats here. I know in past episodes I've given some stats, but let's talk about some more and why video is so critical, so crucial to your online courses. And so in a recent study, online course content that includes video is 83% more effective in helping students remember the information better at a later date. So they did a study and they found that, immediately after the course was taken, there wasn't a huge jump. I think it was maybe even a 10% increase for the students that had video content versus the students that did not. However, when they came back later, they found that the students that had been taking the content through video, it was 83% more effective in helping the students remember the information better. So, we all know the importance of video, but a lot of times we don't know the dramatic importance of video. And then in another study I saw, over 75% of people are more likely to watch a video than read documents, emails, articles, pretty much anything in text. And so if you're going to have an online course, I know it's more work to create videos for it. I know it can seem intimidating to get on camera, or maybe it's too complicated. You don't know what software to use for your PowerPoints or whatever. So my goal, remember when I talked about those 3 videos I'm releasing at easyvideoforcourses.com, that's what will help you simplify the process and make it cheaper, faster, and better. All right, so let's talk about these 3 effective ways to use video. And let me just start off by saying the more time you spend to make videos look better, the better quality of a product it will look like, which does give it a higher perceived value. So while we will talk about some easy ways to be on camera or even not be on camera, I do want to say, if your course is simple or if it's just PowerPoint slides, I think that the content will drive it. The content is what gives the true value. But if you can add some polish to it, some professionalism to it, it will make your course appear even more valuable. So the first one is be on camera. And I realize this is the hardest one to do, but it will showcase you as an industry expert. If you know Michael Hyatt of michaelhyatt.com, he does this really well. He's on camera different times, and it really builds that know, like, and trust because you can see him. You can see that he's trustworthy, that he's experienced and knowledgeable, and that he is there for you. So I think being on camera, like I said, while it is tough, you should consider it for at least a few of your videos. So I'm not saying you have to be on camera for all your videos. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to be on camera for all the videos, but you might have an introduction where you're just on camera talking to your students. And they can see you. They can feel your passion besides just hearing it in your voice. And all that would not have been possible with you writing out the content. It's hard to feel passion and to feel that expertise when somebody's just writing and typing out content. So if you're on camera, this could be using your iPhone. This could be, or a smartphone, I should say. This could be being on a webcam or a DSLR or any type of video camera. It doesn't have to be expensive, but I really do think that especially for the introduction and maybe the closing, you should try to get on camera at least a few times. Now, if it is applicable, if you're doing demonstrations with your hands, almost like a cooking show, right? You'll want to be on camera because you want to show them what you're doing. So if you're doing, let's say, exercises, maybe you're a fitness instructor, you want to show them that. You don't want to just talk about it. You want to show the steps, the different types of stretches or exercises that you're doing. You don't want to just talk about it or even just write it or just do pictures. You want to show it with yourself and maybe somebody else on camera. And let's say you're an author and you have a book about a certain topic. Well, you might want to be in the setting where you're talking about that book or where the audience might be. So that could be in your office. It could be outside. It could be at a pool. It could be who knows where. Just be thinking of the natural setting and surrounding that your audience might envision you or how it might help the students learn better. So if you're on site, that might be easier to explain versus if you're just in your office behind a desk. So the first effective way to use video in your online courses is be on camera. Now, the second way is, and I have some good news, it's not you necessarily being in front of the camera. So this is a screen capture. So this could be through your PowerPoint slides that you're just delivering PowerPoint slides. It could be recording your computer screen as you're demoing software or showing something on your computer of how to set this up or how to do X, Y, or Z. Screen captures are very, very effective. I've done hundreds of these over the years. In fact, when I'm working with a coaching client and some of my corporate clients, a lot of times I do screen capture videos to onboard them, to walk them through a process that's easier than me trying to type something out or even on a phone call or a Skype call. It's so much easier if I can just show them. Another thing I like with screen capture videos is it's not as expensive. You can use ScreenFlow if you're on a Mac or Camtasia if you're on a PC. and a good microphone, and that's it. You don't need lights or, some of the other things that you need to think about when you're doing on-camera videos. And so it is a lot cheaper to do screen capture videos. I've purchased some very expensive courses myself, $1,000, $2,000, and they are all screen capture videos. So while I think there is a lot more perceived value in being on camera at least a few times, it shows your expertise, people can know, like, and trust you, et cetera, et cetera. I think that you still can create a quality online course by having screen capture videos. And that's because they can see what you're doing. They can see your slides. They can see your software. They can see so much. They just usually can't see you. Now, the good thing is with that, most screen capture software like Camtasia and ScreenFlow do allow you to use your webcam, or I guess you could, plug in a different camera as well. And you could have a picture-in-picture. So you could be in the bottom and the software or whatever you're demonstrating can be larger. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get to be on camera for a little bit there in the corner, and the software is there larger. And you can swap those if you want. So that is a middle ground where maybe you don't want people to see your face for the entire time or on the entire screen. You can just have that picture-in-picture with screen capture videos. So that is the second type of video content that you should consider for your online course videos. Now, the third type of video I think is really good because it takes the burden off of you for creating all the course content. And it's the interview style type video. So this is easier to do because you are leaning on the expertise of the other people or person, the other person or people that you're interviewing. But you do need to do your homework. You don't want to go into an interview with an expert, and let's say they are very well known, or maybe they're not as well known, but they're still an expert. You don't want to offend that expert by asking them almost basic questions like, hey, so tell me about how you got started. Or, you want to be prepared enough where you can say, hey, Bob, I know you got started doing this. Tell me about what was a catalyst that took you from A to B? And so they can dive in quickly without having to rehash their entire life story. Now, I will say this about interview style videos for your courses. You could make your entire course an interview style course. In fact, you see this a lot with online summits that are so popular. They're all interview based, and the expert is giving their information, and the interview is pulling that out, teasing that out of the person. And so you could do that. However, I personally think that you should be the expert of your online course. It should be about you. Your students will be purchasing your course. And so while you might use interview videos to boost your credibility, I think you should have maybe just, let's say in a 10-module course, you might just have 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3 interviews, and maybe that's just within one lesson type of thing. Maybe, if you want to seek outside expertise for marketing or for some aspect where you're not as sharp as you would like to be, I think bringing in that interview is really good. And here's the other benefit of doing interviews is a lot of times it takes the pressure off of yourself so you don't feel so nervous. If you're just doing an interview, you just have your set of questions and you ask your questions and then you are quiet while the expert answers the questions. So it really takes that burden off of you of having to create so much content for your online courses, because that is one of the struggles that I see many people have is they might be an expert in their field, but they don't know how to put all the pieces together, or they don't know how to make a course that's simple with just the information that the audience needs to know. And so having interviews, having other experts can help fill in some of the gaps. If you don't know how to go, A to Z, you can fill in some of the gaps with interviews. All right, well, there are my top 3 effective ways to use video in your online courses. Again, you can use on-camera videos, and that might be with your iPhone, web camera, DSLR, whatever camera you have. And again, think demonstrations, not just lecture. The second one is screen capture. This could be capturing your PowerPoint. This could be capturing your computer and software that you're using And you can even do that picture-in-picture style. And then lastly, the interview style. This, again, takes a lot of the pressure off yourself. You can interview different experts, and it is a great way to make your online course have that value. And then also with the interview style, you could do that for some of your bonus content. So it's a bonus interview, it's a bonus interrogation, some people call it. So you could do that to drive traffic or as bonuses. And I've done both, and I like both of those strategies. So which type of online course video do you plan on putting into your courses? Are you going to do all of those? Other videos, other types of videos we didn't cover here today? Because I've identified probably close to 10 different types, actually more, different types of videos you could consider for your online course. And a lot of them don't require you to be on camera. And some of them even are just software-based. So you don't even have to do the work. You can either hire it out, have somebody do it through software. And we'll talk about those 10 or 15 different ways in different podcasts and courses and videos that I'll be releasing. But to me, these are the three most attainable or the three most popular ways to do video for your online courses. So which one will you be using? Send me an email, jeff@onlinecoursecoach.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your hesitations even on those three things. And then don't forget the easyvideoforcourses.com 3 videos I'm releasing here. So if you go to easyvideoforcourses.com, you can sign up for those videos, watch them really quickly, and start implementing them. That's my goal. I don't want to just throw ideas at you. I want you to take the content, learn from it, and put it into action. So if you're in the middle of creating your course, hey, take some notes. If you're thinking about it, definitely take some notes and save that, because I know it'll help you create effective online course videos in half the time. That's my promise there. All right. Well, thanks for listening to this podcast again. Don't forget to go to easyvideoforcourses.com and check out those videos, and keep coming back to the podcast, where it's truly my goal to help you to teach many to impact millions.